All right, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Yunli, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword!
Now is not the time to use your reputation like that. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, Official Daha.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yunli is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. They should have given it to me from the beginning.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yunli is the main suspect. First, during the sword-gifting ceremony, Yunli openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm-Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide. Hey! It's just a theft. The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing, but none of the other swords in the room were touched.
Well, I do know about the box and the cursed sword.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, besides the ceremony participants, only the delegation members had access to the sword. In that case, why would they return it to the Xianzhou in the first place? That makes sense. The delegation, led by the Knight of Beauty, delivered the sword to the Artisanship Commission. The craftsmen who received it testified that they didn't take anything from the arsenal. Argenti? Oh, that Knight of Beauty. He was with the delegation when they handed over the sword to the Artisanship Commission. You might not know, but he's the one who recognized the sword's origin on Kalevala and escorted it back to the Xianzhou. In other words, he's the one who made it possible for the sword to come home. So, he wouldn't have gone through all that trouble to bring it to the Lawfu if he wanted to keep the sword for himself, right? Master Gongshu checked the work records, and I questioned all the craftsmen and apprentices who were on shift at the time. But I didn't find any suspicious individuals. So, did you steal it? Then stop joking around.
I can prove that he came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so he couldn't have stolen the sword.
Put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission. Not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yunli.
Fair enough.
So,
I didn't steal the sword.
well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. If you want to prove me wrong, you better come up with some solid evidence.
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yunli clear her name. Did we...
don't want to make things difficult for official Dahao. Let's do this his way, and prove my innocence. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away. Well, don't blame me if I find it first. And melt it down. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword, but leave the case behind? Did they melt down the sword like I wanted to? I mean, carrying around the sword like that would be pretty conspicuous. Wouldn't a thief prefer to take the case as well?
Who could have thought that the Miekaki vesa would be stolen? And that the prime suspect is General Huayan's granddaughter? Regardless, we've accomplished our mission. And now it's the Xianzhou's problem. By the way, why did that girl call it a cursed sword? It's quite upsetting. That's enough, young man. Now let me get something straight. On Kalevala, this sword has always been highly revered. The first master of the Miekaki vesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of wise monarchs. The monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain insight into defeating their enemies. What is, Helio? What? Never mind. The point is that the Miekaki vesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala build a strong foundation. It's definitely not a cursed sword.
Yes, I received your message yesterday and went to the arsenal to check on it. But when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. I don't know anything else, so asking more questions won't help, I'm afraid. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clarify something. Even though the sword was stolen, this commission is still highly secure. Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious arumatons were smashed!
Yunli says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yunli can be impulsive. So if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yunli yesterday, young man. So you have the chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me? After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored. No, she was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. If she had come with you, she wouldn't be a suspect right now. I'm counting on you then.
If you've found any clues, feel free to tell everyone. All right. Come back to me when you're ready.
Why is this flower petal inside the case? So, the thief took the sword from the case without picking the lock.